passion helps you to overcome the fear of failure.
Failure is part of the journey to success. No one can achieve success without massive failure. Just get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I think a lot of people, they give up halfway because there's always something for them to lean back on and to go back to.
You can plan to succeed or you can plan to fail. When I plan to succeed. If I fail, then I think, okay, how do I pivot and make it a success?
Hi, this is your friend Bella and welcome back to a brand new season of Pieority Insider. Every day brings new challenges and building mental strength is more crucial than ever. Have you ever felt like you are getting stuck in a loop and no matter what you do, nothing changes? You wanted to seek for help, someone who can get you out of that hole. So, I have an amazing guest here with us. He is a 3-time Olympian. He has coached some of the best athletes in the world. On top of that, he has worked with leadership teams from some of the most famous companies I'm sure you have heard of, like Google, Facebook, Amazon. And he's here now with us to help regular Malaysians like us to elevate our life. So, how is it going, Josiah?
Oh, it's good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so happy to have you here.
You look fabulous.
Thank you. It's nice how we get to know each other through events, our mutual friends.
The warrior plunge.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was like, the first time it's like shocking to the system, right? Like 3 degrees, you're in a bucket of ice all the way to your neck.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I felt like I felt like I was gonna die, man. My heart was gonna explode.
But the sweet part is when you get out of the water.
Yeah. It's like such an accomplishment. So it was really good. And I got to meet cool people.
Right.
Got to meet you.
I think it's nice that when you surround yourself with people who shares the same value.
Yeah, absolutely.
You coach people, right?
Yeah, I do. I'm a coach. I mean, I used to coach high-performance athletes. But what I found was that I could only impact half a dozen to a dozen people at a time. So I wanted to do something that I can impact as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Right? Mental health is key component to it. And we find that out since COVID has been. Mental health is super, super important. So we have to constantly work at it too. Our mind is like a muscle. So it's like go to the gym when you're already fit, then you let go, right? No way, right? You have to keep working on that. So we're working on those too. And meanwhile, we study and learn more about how to build your financial welfare.
Right.
So that you can have a rich life.
So before we dive into the deep stuff, let's do something fun. It will be a true or false questions where we are going to ask about some of the stereotypes people have against Olympians and mindset coach. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Great. So number 1, Olympians are born with natural talent. True or false?
False. Most Olympians aren't natural, right? They're not natural in their sport. That has to be learned. That has to be cultivated. So for me, from my personal background, I got last place in my first bicycle race at 14 years of age. So if people judged me on that, no one would have guessed that I would have ended up being a 3-time Olympian and being top ranked rider in the world for 15 years. So I had to build it up. I had to build the foundations and I had to build the structure, come up with the architecture, and then really form a team and build that success.
But then have you ever thought like in the journey where you're trying to like get better throughout all the failures, like how do you keep yourself going on and trust that, okay, this is like my calling or like my mission?
I was lucky that I found my calling very early on. By the time I was like 17, I already knew that I wanted to pursue this as far as I could. I didn't know I was going to be Olympian. I kind of dreamt it, but I just wanted to see how far I could take it because I loved it. Because it was my passion. So that was key.
Yeah, I think passion helps you to overcome the fear of failure.
If we talk with failure, what I've learned over the last 30 years on my journey is it is critical that we realize that failure is part of the journey to success. No one can achieve success without massive failure. Just get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because failure is uncomfortable.
It
So,
is.
as long as we have the mindset to learn from the failures, take what we learn from the failures and apply that so we don't make the same failures.
It's true. And the second question, Olympians don't experience fear or self-doubt.
That's definitely false. Even the best, most legendary Olympians like Michael Phelps or Rafael Nadal, they have self-doubt, definitely. The saying, we're only as good as our last result, rings true. Sometimes you will win a big one, you'll win a big tournament. You'll party hard, you'll get some downtime, and then you'll have to restart your season for the next season. You got to do it all over again. Just because you won the last time doesn't mean you're going to automatically win the next one. But boy, that's why we do the work and we align with our teams. We build and execute with our team so that we reduce our self-doubt.
How do you apply the same thing in life? Just like how you train a lot so that even though you have self-doubt, it helps you to eliminate the self-doubt.
So the critical here are two things. One is your goal setting, the way you set goals, and two, the way you build your team. For example, mentorship, your coaching team, and aligning the goal setting with your team to work towards your goals. So that's critical. I mean, that's my bread and butter of the way I coach. I'm a company, Olympian Mindset, and we have workshops. Show people how to set proper goals, and a lot of people have no idea. They just think, okay, I'm just set goal. I want to make $500,000 this year, or I want to buy this car. But there's like no concrete plan, and there's no team to hold them accountable. So they miss their goals. Goal setting is critical, and they don't teach that in school. So now it's like, okay, I want to teach people how to do it. Because if I can teach them and show them the foundations and the framework, then I think there's no reason why all of us can't achieve our goals.
I understand that you came from a family with a strong academic background. And I wonder, if you are coming from a family with strong parental expectations, would it be harder, or is it harder for you to choose your own career path?
My family is a typical Malaysian Chinese family. I had only two options in life: be a concert violinist or be a doctor or a medical field at least. So yeah, my dad has a PhD. My mom and dad both have master's degrees. My dad has 2 masters, aunties and uncles and all of them masters at least or PhD. My brother is a doctor. My sister is a master's in nursing. And here I am, the black sheep, not even a bachelor's degree. So when I was young, my mom used to always say, "Hey, Josiah, you better put your bicycle away. Your bicycle will never put food on the table or over a roof over your head." And my dad said, "Yes, that's right. Son, if you're going to pursue that, you're going to fail. When you're a legal adult at 18 years of age, you can choose your pathway, son. You can study and focus, practice your violin and be successful in life, or you can choose your rubbish cycling and fail." So 2 things. As a parent now, I understand my parents. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because they had best intentions. They thought that, okay, he's going to play the fool and realize how hard life is. And then after that, he will quit cycling and we'll take him back. But lucky for me, unlucky for them, I was so stubborn and I was not going to ever beg to move back in. So I had no choice. I put myself out there with no choice but to succeed.
I think a lot of people, they give up halfway because there's always something for them to lean back on and to go back to. And when you push yourself to the age where you don't have any choices and you can only go forward, that could be key to push someone to achieve what they have been dreaming for.
Yeah, I resonate with that, Bella. I mean, you can plan to succeed or you can plan to fail. I find that most people, especially Asian culture, they plan to fail. They think about failure. They think about, well, what if that doesn't work? What's your backup? Well, we hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I never had a backup. I still don't have a backup. Because when I plan to succeed. Now, if I fail which happens because we fail in life, right? Then I think, okay, how do I pivot and make it a success? I plan to succeed first. So that's the way I think.
They say that mindset coaches are only for those who are in struggle or in crisis. Is it true or false?
False. Yeah, mindset is something, it's a real asset, right? It's something that you always constantly need because it's like, for example, let me compare it to the gym. You think that strong people are no longer going to the gym,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Mind is basically like a muscle. It functions the same way as a muscle. Mindset's critical to top up all the time, to keep it at top notch. The moment you stop with building your mindset, you're going to slowly spiral down.
I've collected a few questions from our audience and I would like to hear your take about it. We have an audience. She says that I've been struggling with financial issues lately and it's hard to stay positive when I feel overwhelmed by constant challenges. What can I do to keep my spirits up during tough times?
Research, study, broaden your knowledge about financial knowledge because that's your weakness right now. You find out ways to solve that problem, and not only that, to build from that. That will be the key to getting out of this situation.
There's another one. She says that after losing someone close to me, it has been hard to stay positive, even though I know it's important. How can I honor my emotions and still work towards a more positive mindset?
That one's a challenging one because everyone has a different, I mean, there's no one size fit all, but grieving is definitely a process that you can't skip. We're only human. When we lose something so close to us or someone so close to us, we need to allow ourselves time to grieve. You know, things will get better with time. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it will get better with time. You will always hold that person close to you, but later on it will give you more strength. Their memory of them and that you created together will give you more strength. You will draw from the memories instead of the memories sucking it out of you.
And the last one would be my workplace has a lot of negativity and it's really starting to bring me down. How can I stay positive when I'm surrounded by so much negative energy?
Boy, that's a really challenging one. In that situation, I would seriously think about taking myself permanently out of that environment. My personal belief is true wealth starts with mental health, followed by physical health, then by financial health or welfare, right? So if you don't have the first two, the third one means nothing. Just ask Steve Jobs, right? I'd almost rather earn less, but be in an amazing, positive environment. Because at the end of the day, we only live one time.
Agree. Because I think that's the only way to get out of this cycle is to pull yourself out from that environment and then look for your family and friends who shares the same frequency and energy level as you, because whoever you are surrounded with builds your life too. So just now you mentioned about how you were the outcast of your family members. You are the only one who want to go for something different in terms of your career path. How did you navigate through this time? Like, do you hold grudge?
I did hold a grudge. That grudge lasted a long time. I didn't have that great of a close relationship with them after I moved out of the house at 18. But when I went to my first Olympic Games, I became the first Asian to make an Olympic final. Their friends and family from Malaysia were calling. They're still living in the States. Called them out. Oh, congratulations! For what? Oh, your son. He's all over the newspaper news. Oh, blah blah blah. You must be so proud of him. And then after that, something clicked in my dad's head. He became my number one fan, and the next year he flew all over the world to follow me and would make friends with everyone and brag that his son's Olympian. That didn't really sit well with me. You know, it's been rocky with my dad and I especially, but now we're really good and we have a healthy relationship. But yeah, there's always the scarring. I'm okay with that because we all, the scars are basically our stories.
You know, Joe, I've been wanting to ask this, but I wanted to keep it for this podcast because when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that you have actually been homeless before. You have been so successful, like you achieved so much, and how did it turn out?
Okay, well, maybe we clarify homeless. Like most people think I'm on the street and like
Yeah,
dirty
that's what I thought.
clothing. When it's well, homeless it means I was kicked out of my home. Well,
Okay.
okay, technically it was an ultimatum. My parents gave me an ultimatum
Mm,
that if I chose my dream in cycling to pursue that, I can do so, but not under their roof.
mm,
So yeah, so I was kind of I was staying with friends, couch surfing or whatnot. So never like homeless on the street, but a young man without a home to go to.
mm,
So yeah, I felt like rejected at that
mm,
time, and but my why and my goals were so strong
mm,
that nothing could stop me. I
mm,
just knew I wanted to pursue that life,
mm,
and I just took it step by step.
mm,
And I had my dreams built out, and I built my team. I had a coach, and I had good friends and good training partners.
mhm,
And took it step by step. And
mhm,
I was consistent, and I was committed. So
mm.
those two key elements.
We have been talking about challenges today in this episode, right? So I'm just wondering, is there any significant like setbacks that you have experienced in your life that have affected you both mentally as well as physically and professionally?
Okay, well, we can talk about physically. There's two times in my career that I almost died.
Mm,
First time was 4 months before my first Olympic Games. I was really pumped. I'm going to be an Olympian. I qualified. I was ranked top 3 in the world rankings, and I was pushing my body to the limits so that I could bring home an Olympic medal for Malaysia. Then I made a mistake and I got my nutrition wrong. I was
mm,
low in sugar, blood sugar,
mm,
and I pushed so hard that I fainted. I passed out mid-flight on my bike. At
okay.
70, more than 70 kilometer an hour, I hit the metal railing at the side, shattered my wrist, my steel bicycle handlebar broke in half, and pierced my forehead. I'd have 17 stitches. I got knocked out. I had black eye, broke my nose, broke my tooth. I was training in Switzerland at that time. I woke up. 2 paramedics were talking to me. They said, we're paramedics. You've had a bad accident. At the same time, I was looking around me. I heard all of my training partners were in tears. So why are they crying? And then I could feel a warm liquid around me. Turns out I had, from my forehead, bled 2 liters of blood. And yeah, I almost died. I almost needed a blood transfusion. So I spent 5 nights in intensive care unit in the hospital in Switzerland.
That's so scary.
Yeah. Proverbial shit hit the fan in my life. Now everything was going great in my life, and in a split second, everything turned upside down.
And then, so what happened for the next 4 months?
So I got my 2 surgeries on my wrist to put the pins in, and then after that, about 10 weeks, I'll take the pins out. I eventually regained my strength. I had lost 5 kilos, though, of muscle. 10 weeks before Olympic Games, I restart my training.
10 weeks before, which
10
is
weeks,
about
so
2 months.
I only had about a little two and a
Yeah.
half months to prep.
Yeah. And on top of that, you were injured and you're still
Because it was broke.
recovering.
Recovering from
Right.
broken wrist
Yeah.
is still painful. It's
Yeah.
not strong. And in sprint cycling, we need that power, that strength. And what do you know? I went there and became the first Asian to make an Olympic final, and I just missed out on an Olympic bronze medal by 2 cm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you see, mindset is everything.
Mindset is
It
everything.
makes everything happens. It
Mindset
makes
is everything.
possible.
Absolutely.
That's really inspiring because you kind of just prove it to everyone that you can make things that seems impossible possible.
We underestimate our bodies. Our bodies are amazing at recovering. Especially when we tell it to recover. And a lot of the times, our mind can really play a powerful role in achieving amazing things.
So before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask, as a mindset coach, what is the core value that you would share with your students and also something that you practice in your daily life?
So my personal motto is every day is game day.
Oh,
Each day is my Olympic Games. When I came here today, I knew that I'm going to perform as if this were my Olympic Games. So I took this very seriously. I came here on time. I came here well prepped and well rested. If you do that consistently, you can execute at the highest level, day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. And the aggregate of that is going to equal success.
good. Can you please share with us what is one simple daily habit people can practice to find more joy and live a more fulfilling life?
Yeah, the one tip that I can give is connected to my personal motto, which is every day is game day. And that starts with your preparation. Your preparation usually starts before, the night before. You think, okay, next day, how do I prepare better to execute better? And run through my checklist in my head before I go to sleep. So when I wake up, I'm completely relaxed because I've already prepped.
I agree with that because that's what I practice as well since young. You know, when I was in my secondary, I have to get all my uniforms ready the night before, and then like my bags are right next to the door, and then I go to bed, and then when I wake up, I know that okay, this is the place, so I don't kalam kabut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you're
Yeah.
so successful and so beautiful now. There you go.
Thank you.
That's the key.
Appreciate it. Joe, I really enjoyed our conversations today.
Same
And thank you so
here.
much for your time. Okay, so I want our audience to walk away from our episode today with strong takeaways. Can you please help us to sum up 5 core takeaways that from our conversation today?
There's 5 key takeaways from today, I would say. Number 1 is to be consistent in your commitment, right? And make goal setting a priority and a habit. In depth, learn about it, do it better, and also continually build your team. There's no I in success, right? I mean, normally with success takes a team, even if it's behind the scenes. And the last thing is no matter what, keeping a positive mindset. And it's not always natural, but practice it. Practice it until it becomes natural. Become positive, glass half full. And if you do all this, what's going to happen, Bella?
We are going to win in life. Yes. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today. And remember to subscribe to our channel because we have more episodes coming up to guide you to live your rich life. Today is critical because we have to get our mindset right first. That's fundamental. Then we will move on to building our physical health. And by combining these two, it's time to move on to everyone's favorite part, building our bank account.
Cha-ching!
Yes,
I love-
our financial health. Because with these 3 key pillars, we are the biggest winner in life. So stay tuned. This is Bella. Have a nice day and sending you away with lots of love. Bye.